Did you think it'd be... Oh, go on, Bruce.
No, go on, just saying, what was your take on all that?
It's pretty good, Bruce. It's pretty bloody good. I'm really pleased for the girls. I've said this a lot through the journey of this season because every week we've been better, and that takes a bit of trust and it takes a bit of belief from the girls in our system as a coaching staff and our coaching group. And today we took full toll of the plan we put in place and the system that we like to play, and we got an outstanding outcome. So I'm just really pleased for that, for the girls, because they've now got a tangible outcome, a positive tangible outcome for a grand final opportunity, which is just fantastic.
Trent just had a slip of the tongue and said, talked about playing Adelaide next week in the grand final. Let's assume it is Adelaide. You'll start underdogs, but you said after the Bulldogs game, I wouldn't like to be playing us at the moment. After today, just the momentum is building, if anything, for you guys. Team, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we've clearly had our moment, Tay. We're just that Conference B crap team that can't play. So that's what everyone sees us as. Maybe that's changed after today. I don't know, but we've never worried about who's coming up against us or what was in front of us. We're worried about how we prepare and what we do, and because we know we're a good team, and people underestimate us all the way through, and that's fine. I don't think whoever we play will now on the back of what's happened today, and good luck to them if they do. But whoever it is, we don't mind. We're growing and building every week, and when you got your players developing individually, but your team collectively growing every week, it's a pretty powerful thing.
What if I told you before round one that you'd be in the grand final? What would you say?
I said, well, that's what I expect.
Really?
I expected us to perform really well. Now, nothing's a given in footy. You get what you deserve, and we deserve this. I was probably being a bit facetious there, but I expected us to perform really well. I trusted the system we put in place and knew we had a list capable of performing to that. So where it takes you, you never know at the start of a year, but I'm just so pleased that the girls have got this opportunity through trust and belief in what we do, and they're pretty powerful things in footy clubs if you've got those.
Today could have gone either way for Taylor. We know Taylor's a strong-minded individual, but still there's a hell of a lot to work through. Did you have to have a chat to her, or was there any work that was done, or did you just know that bang, this is going to happen?
I don't like to talk to Tay too much because I know she's a boxer, and if I get something wrong, I'm a chance to get whacked. So I try to avoid. We've chatted through the week, Tay, but not to any great extent. Tay's, I think we all recognise that the way that she's handled this work has been nothing short of extraordinary for a woman so young to deal with all this and be able to move forward so quickly. So no, I leave Tay to prepare the way she needs to prepare. She on Wednesday when it all sort of unfolded, certainly from a media perspective, she was able to handle herself really well and got back to training and ready to train and train really well. So I don't like to interfere when things are going pretty well, and Tay's more than capable of handling the situation she's been in this week, which is unusual for a woman of her age, but she's been nothing short of outstanding. So I don't get in the way when players are doing their thing. I just let them go. Is that right, Tay?
How hard was it?
Actually for myself, obviously the support that I received was incredible, and that is what made it not hard at all, to be honest. All I had to do was say what I thought, which I was honest the entire time. I was quite, I guess, strategic with the way what I put out there, and then I let it kind of roll on, let other people pick up what I was putting down, kind of thing. But I like to think I'm quite opportunistic, so I obviously saw what had happened as an opportunity for change, and then an opportunity for, I guess, momentum to go into the game. Everything was all exciting. It was an exciting week. Obviously, initially it was a negative thing, but quite quickly turned into a huge positive. And I'm amazed with, and I don't think it's really sunk in what has happened. But footy for me, we've got another week. It was always, this is happening right now, but in my head, footy this weekend was first. So there was no point where I felt overwhelmed by what was happening, and I used it as a, what's the word I'm looking for? What is it? Fuel, yeah.
An incentive.
Yeah, I used it as something that I could, use to come into the game there was really no other option in my mind but to try and play as well as I could.
And
That's a good thing.
that was going to be the thing. Was it your best game? Because from our point of view, it certainly looked like you were right on today.
Well, I was just trying to do my job, which is half said this whole season, just to contest the footy, and I was trying to do that. Obviously, my thing is in the air and a big unit, so I was trying to... Thanks, Dad. Have you seen him? He's a huge man.
He's a big man. He's a very big man.
But yeah, so I was just trying to do what I was told, really. So I didn't get in trouble. But yeah, I think essentially I was just trying to do my job, and obviously when you do your job, then everything goes well.
You kick the first goal, you crash the packs, take a couple of great marks. How good did today feel?
Yeah, it felt good. It felt, obviously footy is long. I come from boxing, which is like a 10 to 15 minute thing. So a footy game for me, in both my sports, a footy game is such a long process. And half uses process a lot. And in the first quarter, obviously, as you said, I started off well-ish, but, whatever you consider well, but...
Pretty well.
Pretty well. But then it was the second quarter, whole new game essentially, second half, back to zero. So that's what I was trying to do. I was just trying to not get lost after I did something. But then obviously kicked one goal, but then wasn't really getting the shots at goal, so I was trying to have body and tackle, and then I was trying to hit packs, and that's how I play footy. If something else isn't working, there'll be something else to do, essentially.
What do you think when you see that there are people wearing these badges with silhouette on them? What do you make of that?
Yeah, I don't think it's really sunk in yet. I think it's, I've said it all week, that's just how I kick. So, yeah, it's really special. I do understand what I'm doing, and that I am creating something big. Or, sorry, I'm not creating it, I'm starting something big. And everyone else is just grabbing onto it and doing their little bit, and it's going all over the world, and helping a lot of people, which is the one thing that I take from it, is helping people. So I will just keep going as much as I can. Anything I can do to help, I'll do it, and that's in small scale and big scale and on the footy field and off it. So,
have you had contact from anyone that you've kind of gone, wow, like, you know, even the Prime Minister was talking about it the other day?
Yeah, ScoMo. Scomes.
Scone dog.
The Scominator.
The Scomestar.
Scome.com. I won't continue. And
We've had a good time.
we have fun. Yes, there's been so many people reach out. Obviously, footy people that I look up to. Patrick Dangerfield was one of the first that I recognised, and then Brody Grundy commented on my post, and I thought that was cool. I think he's incredible. And then obviously people from other sports. There's a lady that was a fly fisher or something from another country that is really good at that. So that was cool. And yeah, just a lot of, I guess, people showing their support, and whether it was profile people or just people who wanted to reach out. And a lot of people shared their story with me, which was special. And then during the week I did the kick challenge thing or whatever, because I did it because a lot of kids, or a lot of parents and kids, were posting and tagging me and saying, look, I'm kicking like you, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. Then I thought, oh, maybe I can filter them all into one hashtag, because I am 21 and I know that. Because then people can look on it and be inspired by it and just click on it and think, this is something pretty special. And kids, and then adults, even half age,
Even half age? Yeah, I know hashtags.
We spoke about this.
I know hashtags.
I'm getting on board, so it's very, very cool.
Is it bigger than what you thought, though? Like, even here in the crowd today, talking to people that are, you know, they're having a kick like Taylor competition this week at their local club with the little girls and stuff. It's
much bigger than I thought.
Yeah.
When it all started, I just thought I was doing what I do often, not necessarily publicly, but I do, if someone says something on my posts, I delete them and block them immediately, and a lot of people find themselves blocked lately, so that's not my problem, it's yours. You'll miss out on the content. So I've been getting, because I've had a lot of moments, whether it was the trade or things that have happened along the way, and people have had their opinions, and if they're not what I want a young kid to see, then I'll just delete it straight away, or if I don't want my grandma to see it, delete it, block. So I've been doing that, but then I just decided this was this was too far. Obviously, as I've said heaps of times, there's comments about footy, and then there was comments or what was said, and that was just beyond over the line. So I just thought, right, this is an opportunity to stand up for myself and everyone else, because and then what happened. So and then you just kept the ball rolling.
There's a moment in that video at the park seat.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
you really? Like,
That was extremely acted. But there's an Old Spice.
Which was pleasing, Rog, I must say.
If you look on, it was a meme or something, or a Vine or whatever, of the guy, the Old Spice guy, and it's a joke. Yeah, so if you can find that, then you realise that I was actually doing it, copying someone else. I didn't actually invent that.
After a busy Sunday, how do you handle that? Do you sit in front of the box? Do you go over there? Have you got someone who will watch it?
Yeah, that's up in the air at the moment. I'm supposed to be working in a media situation, so that might be copping at the neck, and I might go across to Adelaide. So there's a few opportunities.
Yeah.
Either sit there and watch it on the TV, go across and watch it live, or go to work and then watch it later.
Would you have somebody there at the game?
Yeah. Regardless, someone will be there for us watching what's happening at the Adelaide Oval. Yeah, no doubt.
Just in terms of injuries, Harrington's the obvious one. Is there anyone, like, how is Harrington, and is there anyone else who's pulled up a bit, Ginger, from today?
Yeah, no, I think we're okay outside of Kes, and I don't know the detail of Kes. It's been pretty celebratory in the rooms, and I haven't been able to track down the physios and the doctors yet, so I'll go back in after this and work it out. She strapped it up and was prepared to come back on, so I assume that's a good thing.
What is it, left arm?
Left shouldery thing, yeah. I think. Yeah, left shoulder.
Left shoulder.
Yeah, so she was prepared to come back on, strapped and ready to come back on, so I imagine that's a good thing.
Because apart from anything else, she was fantastic today.
Not just today. She's in the All-Australian squad. She's had an enormous year, Kes. She's probably played undersized for most of the year, but her competitive desire makes her perform that way every single week. It's fantastic to watch. She's been one of the real finds for us this year.
Would she be your candidate to go to Phillips, do you think?
Well, if she plays forward, yes, no doubt. We've got a few that we'd be happy to send to Erin, and that's clearly going to be one of the challenges should Adelaide win tomorrow. But we'll let that sort of roll and see what happens there. But she would be, one of the two or three, yeah.
You had great premiership success at local level, Amos, all that sort of stuff. What sort of grand final coach are you? Are you a Luke Beveridge Goldstopper type mode? Using or get the girls all together for dinner? What's kind of your approach to Granny Week?
Yeah, I don't like to change too much in big weeks. It was a bit like this week too. We didn't change too much because I think consistency in preparation is really important, particularly for the girls who haven't found themselves in these situations many times through their footy careers. Certainly this level, with this level of scrutiny and coverage. So I think we start to change things up, then you can just sort of start to think of what might happen and what might be, as opposed to worrying about what is. And that's one of the big things I'm strong on with the girls, just worry about what is, not what might be or what was. So we'll keep it pretty normal. I like dad gags as much as the next bloke too. They're not very good, but I like to throw them out there just to see what sort of reaction I get. Often very negative, but I'm still running with it. So we'll stick with the dad gags and normal preparation and see how we go, I think.
Go Baggers.
Go Baggers. Go.